Hello, creatives. Welcome to another episode of my YouTube channel. Are we good? Listen, today I want to talk to you about something a little more abstract. Well, it's not abstract, it's very important, but people don't like talking about it, but I do. Fear is going to kill you in this industry. Fear is going to kill you in any industry. Fear kills animals in the wild, right? So how does a lion or a wolf know which one to go for, which gazelle to attack, which deer to go for? It's the little quivering one in the corner. It's not the buck that's going to be like, woof, huff you down, right? It's tangible fear. And not just for others, for you. You cripple yourself more than you think when you hesitate, when you're afraid of things, okay? There's this little thing. I tell people this, and my sales reps and consultants that do phone calls with customers, whether it be actors or people that we speak to for a gig, a commercial gig or whatever, that decision makers, quick decision makers, we tend to do the best work, right? There's something about CEOs and people that progress in life where they just can make decisions quickly. Okay? Why is that? Okay, it relates to fear. Fear makes you hesitate. Uncertainty, am I making a mistake? Am I going to suck at this? Am I going to be good at this? What if I do it and I fail? All those things make you hesitate, and they make you go the safer route, right? It's that fight or flight instinct. You can relate this to auditions that you've been on when you've had a feeling about, like, maybe I should go for it, maybe I should do a certain thing, and you didn't do it because you were afraid, and then maybe you didn't get that audition, and now you're thinking about, like, oh, if I would have done that, would I have gotten it? Would they have considered me? Would they have looked at me differently? Would I have stood out? In a business decision, purchasing something of value, should I go get more expensive headshots? Should I get the cheap ones? Well, my budget, my this, my that. The people who are like, nope, I'm investing in my career, this is it, like, that is a mechanism that you need to get good at refining, and there's a fine line between decision making and being foolish, right? You don't want to be frivolous and say, hey, you know what, I deserve a Lamborghini and I make $5,000 a month. All your money is going to go into that car, so if you even qualify to buy one. But the point is, you don't want to be stupid, you want to be quick and refine the skill to understand what you want for the purpose of personal progress. Okay, so the way to differentiate foolish decisions from good decisions, well, you need to understand the space into which you're moving. Auditions, the creative world, the film industry, we like uniqueness, right? We like to see the same but different. We like to see something that's familiar with a new spin on it, and we like to see unique, interesting characters and new people and new things, right? We don't want to see the same thing over and over again. But there's a certain margin of that, right? There's a certain level of safety beyond which we don't, the risk becomes maybe too high. So you wouldn't go in a dramatic role, audition for a dramatic role and do some slapstick version of it. But you might take it in a certain direction. You might express a little bit more frustration rather than maybe the sadness. Or you might hold back the tears, even though it says she breaks down and cries. Maybe you have a more empowered approach. Those are the risks that you should take. You can always be directed. So my point is, don't let fear rule your life, because it will kill you. It really will. When you are thinking about investing in yourself, whether it's getting new headshots or taking an expensive coaching session or, even working with a company like ours, just if you want it and you think it's going to help you progress, then you should just go for it and allocate the budget and the resources and the time and feel happy with that decision, right? And sometimes the results of what you do are not immediately tangible, which also trips people up. They tend to make decisions based on risk evaluation, based on basically they look at their life like an investor looks at a spreadsheet, like a business plan or a prediction, which is kind of the wrong way to go about it, because unlike certain investments, which by the way are also unpredictable, like it just makes people feel safe and calm, but it really doesn't mean anything, because you can make investments and then the stock market can crash. Or if you feel safe at a 9-to-5 job, you shouldn't feel safe, because that business could go belly up and you have no control over that business. And people are like, well, but when you're an entrepreneur and you're self-employed, like it's so unpredictable and it's scary. At least you're in charge. At least your income is a factor of basically is the sum of basically your time and effort, right, that you put into it equals your income. And so at least you have control. So you actually have more control when you make decisions based on direction that you want to go in, but that needs to be in with a place of clarity as to where you want to go. And then your decisions can all inform that. And then you'll start knowing this is the right thing for me, this isn't. And what I was trying to say earlier is that, the intangibles, the things like, well, is a good reel going to get me more work? It's going to get you, it's better than having a bad reel, right? We made a video about that. It's better than having no reel if it's a good reel. Is there an algorithm that's going to predict exactly when you're going to start getting what kind of jobs and how much it's going to pay? Well, no, there's a lot of other variables and factors involved, like, the market, the industry, the demand for your character types, your skill as an actor in general. But if you submit that to somebody, and it's beyond the reel, the headshots, whatever it is that you've invested in, a new coaching session, $100 audition coaching, right? And they're like, oh, that's too expensive for an audition. Well, what if that gets you a $20,000 job, a $50,000 job? What if it does? What if it didn't? If you didn't do that, you would never know, and you would live in that place of scarcity and fear, thinking, oh, I said, you try it once and the audition coaching didn't work, so I'm never going to do it again. You have to try and be the best you can. That's what competing is. You're always trying to be the best. So you input all of your time and money and investments and everything that you can, your efforts, into being the best. And then you're giving yourself the best chances. But if you come from a place of fear and reluctance and hesitation and you're not going for it on a regular basis, then you're also not going to know what could have happened if you did. And you're going to start getting into this mindset of what I call wearing the loser hat, of this just kind of like preventing yourself from even taking chances. You're going to get safer and safer. You're going to get less and less attractive to the people who you're trying to collaborate with, because everything's going to come from this place of, oh, I'm a failure. Don't wear the loser hat. Take risks. Go for it. It's your life. You live it once that we know of. You're worth it. Put the money, the effort, and the energy into giving yourself not that a false sense of confidence, like, oh, like really believe it. You have the same chance as anybody else. Just take the risks. Take risks that will propel you in the right direction, and that starts with understanding where you want to go. So figure out where you want to go, and then start just aggressively and violently pursuing that, and don't ever be afraid. All right.